Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast.
Eccoci qua, Mike. Ciao, come stai?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Had some sick kids this week, but yeah, all good. How about you, mate?
Sick me, but in general, all good. So sometimes are the kids, sometimes are the parents. In this case, it's me. But welcome in a new episode of Fratelli Rugby Podcast. Tonight we're gonna talk all about Ireland-Italy's game, and we're gonna take a look also at the call-up by France with Galtier. Some names are out, other names in the squad. Also Italy, some news from our side. And we're going to try to dissect this performance from Italy in Dublin. Fantastic performance. Mike, your thoughts to start?
I don't know what most of the people have been complaining about. Overall, really, really positive, mate. Like, we've had a game where we've been playing against Ireland. Yeah, you can argue that Ireland's in transition and all of that, Jess, but man, like, we played a really good game, like lots and lots of positives. So I'm really happy, mate, to be honest. Shame about the result. I do think we were probably good enough to maybe get a try and make it, a closer game than or drawed game, and I think that probably would have been fair on the balance. But man, like, just really happy, like just really, really happy, really excited about where Italian rugby is right now.
It is, because it's an historic also. It's hard to say defeat, but we were not that close since 2008.
Yeah,
18 years, which is too much in Dublin, because in Rome we were in some games closer, let's say. But I remember some games at Flaminio that we were so close against them. But here we go. So yeah. I mean, Mike, when you have a team that try to push hard for 80 minutes and try to grow in the game, it's positive. Then we can go look some mistakes, some decisions, but it's the performance we were looking for. To be honest, to be that close all the game, not just to let them go and then try to reach them back.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned last week, what's more important than putting in a good performance? It's backing up a good performance with a good performance, and that's how you create consistency. The fact that we did it, or the fact that, and again, what's better than a good performance? Backing up a good performance. So I want to see it next week as well. And if we start consistently playing at this level, man, we can do some really cool stuff in the future.
I was reading about Ireland, I don't remember who was on X, saying looks like more a fifth position in the ranking Ireland in the way they played, but at the end they snitched the game in the positive way. I think Mikulski got a really good game in defense, and in attack Timoni from the bench was good for them. But in general, I think also what we did, we also with the bench, was really positive from us. Some sparks by Odogu, some legs by Odogu, what we were looking for.
Big old legs from Odogu, eh?
From Odogu. Probably we had also those minutes where they then scored with Balokun. That shape on shape, they were attacking side by side.
They played really, really well. That was beautiful.
Because they try every time to attack us on the edge, and they were trying to folding or to trying to close hard the gap, but they found space, they organized again, and they were able to score. But in general, really good defense, another good defensive performance from Italy, which is fantastic. Then, of course, Mike, champagne time, prosecco time, how you wanna call when they go in the air like corks, the props of the opposite team, because
what were the flying through the air?
fantastic scrum. So generally a game that push us in that path that we are trying to follow to grow, and that is fantastic. 1 point after 2 games with 5 points, still positive net on Italy's Six Nations for now.
Yeah, I think for me, right, against the big teams, having a losing bonus point or a try bonus point, that's sort of the minimum we should be looking to get.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
We want always those tight games. So okay, let's do it, and this is a case.
yeah, but I just want to sort of touch a point because you made a really important point, which I think was sort of undervalued. I think we learned a lot about some of our players this game. Some of the players who maybe, you know, coming on from the bench, or maybe some of the players who we were wondering, like Marin and that Pani, where are they at? Like, how are they developing? What is it that they're doing? And I think actually we learned so much positive about our team, which is what makes me the most happy, because Pani, obviously coming back from a serious injury, managed game time at Zebre, started obviously with a bit of fear, ended the last sort of 2 or 3 games playing really well, steps into an Italian jersey, different player, confident, different player. And then Marin, obviously, really by force because of whatever's happening with Brex, and obviously we wish him a speedy recovery. I hope everything is good behind the curtains, and that he can find comfort and solace with whatever's going on. But Marin was sort of pushed into the deep end, and again, we can talk about performance and stuff. Forced in those positions, you either learn to swim or you learn to sink, and he learned to swim again. So really, really, really happy, Otto, to be honest.
I like that kick over the defense by Pani was really Capozzo style, that kind of kick, and was a really good opportunity, because then that was one of those opportunities we could have been better. Hard to say, because was the right thing, but was a low pass, and was hard also for Lamar to get that ball. So that was something to see by Pani. Good on in attack, really positive in general. Our attack, we are trying to swinging a lot with the 4-man pod in the middle. We talk with Varney, but that is the style we're using, and then the 2+ opening waves. We found some space, but then we lack those situations to be even better there, and get away at least with more points, because when you leave 4 turnovers around the opposite 22, it's always hard to see what you can do better.
One thing that you said there, which I want to quickly just touch on, because I saw a lot of people, and a few of the people I was watching it with were like, "Oh, why did Pani try the offload?" That was the right decision, because there was no one around. It was going to get turned over. It's just unfortunate that the execution wasn't quite there. Like you said, a little bit lower, but it was 100% the right decision. That's why I love the fact that you said the decision was right, and 100% he was right to try and throw that offload there.
You have the space, you have a player coming, you have to try that. That for me, it was neither completely on the ground, so you can try to push more, and he tried positively for me in this game. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah, agreed.
that's not bad at all. We learn more with Marin also starting at 12. The Marincello is something that they can grow in the game. We see how they want to attack much more the ball, how much they want to be a threat for the defense, but they need more game time together, Mike. That is probably something where they can be really much dangerous. But in general, I like the way Menoncello was organized in defense, his role.
Mm-hmm.
If you see every time, even when the Ireland was attacking edge to edge in their own 50s, Menoncello was always in the same line of Prendergast, pushing him only to do a long top pass and closing the gap there. So it was something really worked by the defense, because usually neither Brex works so high up in the field. and that was something new that I saw from him, and was interesting because as a 13 without breaks, you have to take decision. In that way, you close the gap. We were pretty not in panic mode in defense. Low was the guy that made the difference for them. For me, for how many players he put into every carry made in the game.
Him and Ringrose were exceptional.
Yeah, a good cover tackle on Garbisi in the last minutes before the intercept by Low. There is Ringrose before.
Yeah.
Where Garbisi stay on the ground a few seconds more to breathe, and then in those moments, Mike, we missed the opportunity to create momentum because
Yeah, because we then had to attack against a set defense. But I think what you said as well, like the centre partnerships, the centres are coming up into question, etc. I really, really like to Dogwell off the bench. Like he's so positive against tired legs as well. When bodies are sore and they don't really want to get low, he's got a low center of gravity. He's so fast. He's so aggressive. He doesn't care, man. And also, there were a few passes, short passes, tip passes that went to him that were really tough, and he managed to pick them up and secure the ball and not lose the ball. Man, I'm like I said, I'm genuinely like really chuffed where we're at. Like I think, you know, as long as there's continuity next week as well, it needs to be this now. This needs to be the baseline moving forward.
It has to be. You think we're gonna see many changes in the team, Mike?
Against France, I've got to be honest. I've said this before to you, Otto. Quesada strikes me as the guy that wants as much consistency as we possibly can. Obviously, I know we're going to be talking about who's been selected for the squad next week. For the squad before the team selection. But I think it depends on how aggressive we're going for England. That's sort of my point. If we're really targeting that English game, I'm sure we're going to see some rotation here. Make sure that, you know, players that started on the bench get starts and vice versa, you know, managing people's time. If we're trying to compete and win for this game, I think we're probably going to see quite a similar team than we did last week, if I'm honest.
Pretty, yeah. You don't think they're gonna be more like, for example, give a break to a couple of players, key players? I was thinking even playing Giuliani out, or at least from the bench, and even Benoncello from the bench another game. For me, those are two situations because the other players that are coming hard. As you said, Odogu, why not? Why not? I know it's hard against France, chaotic game. He has to be really on his better position every time, but can be something. Odiase to leave another player that is tackling the world, which is Lorenzo Cannone.
Yeah, listen. I for me, it's more. Quesada said before the start.
Say it.
No. It's not. Quesada said before the start of the tournament that he wants consistency in every match. He wants to be consistent. He wants to be competitive in every match. My concern is if we're looking at key positions, 13 obviously reads the defensive line for the back. If we're going to, these are the questions for me anyway, right? Is the right time to do that against a team like France? That's the tough, but if not now, when? So yeah, cool. If we're doing it with the intention of targeting the last two games and that's sort of the goal that we want to do, whatever, that's fine. I think we also need to understand that if we change too much, we're probably going to be on a tough side of the score, and that's also something that we need to consider. You know,
we have to consider. You think that seriously we should consider in that way?
What do you think? Do you think with major changes we have the depth to compete with France?
For me, what we have to do is always focus on us, no matter what, as usual with Italy. But I think some players they can deliver a really positive net game, even if they lose the game. But I can see players that work hard and maybe they're not gonna feel like there was that missing player like Zuliani, just to make an example, or Menoncello, because but he had a really good game. So probably I'm on that way, probably also to think about other two games, big games that you find after France, which is the one home game against England. What happened against Scotland? Still to think about it. Congratulations for the game for Scotland, but what happened in that game? And then you have Wales, so you have the must-win game and the home game that you want to break, no matter what happened. France is like not that. Oh my god! If was an home game, Mike probably was different. But
no, I agree. I think my question to you is this, right? And this is what I think. First of all, I don't think this is what the score would be, and I'm sort of exaggerating to make a point, but it is an important point. Okay, if we go in next week, we get a similar score put onto us than Wales did last week with changes. Is that better for the team than to play, hopefully not get injuries, and play a full strength team against France? That's the question. Like, those are the sort of questions. Obviously, I don't think that would happen.
We went to play with that team, with the team that was not the A team
against South Africa.
You have to back the players, and probably that's why I'm backing them in this.
Yeah, I'm by the way,
good for the
don't misinterpret my words. I'm not backing them. I'm saying that there needs to be a balance of change, right? Because there has been some consistency in the selections, which has done well.
So who can start in the game like that? There can be a switch in the front row, for example.
Yeah, why not? Like, listen, people who've been on the bench. Yeah, like, let them start. Let people who've been on the bench, who have started, come off, and all of this stuff. I think it's important to make sure that if we're going, we're going with players that know how Quesada expects to play. And then listen, now I'm going to say it, horses for courses. Who knows what he's got planned, eh?
Who knows what is planned? Something different, maybe. This, I guess, this France that keep changing with some names. Shall we look at the names?
Let's have a look. Yeah.
So let me see on Rugby Pass. Here we go. Okay, so Tatafu, Slimani come in because Tatafu and Moefana, they're out, so they're gonna be Hugo Soons in, but the team is gonna be strong team as usual, as you can expect by France. Come on, nothing new. Nothing new here. There is Flamand back. That is something. There is Guillard that is playing so well. Jego always angry against every team he is playing. Mavuka, Meafu, they have every kind of player. Nucci is almost 60 caps already with Montpellier. He's still so young and he's a player that I really like. Let's see how many they will change, but then it's interesting to see the backs because Arfeuille is having a great season at Paloise, so quick. The same for Arisog, back after injury in the early the season. Barassi, a player that honestly I don't like, so I'm not gonna say anything. Leo Barré, fantastico. Biel Barry, Ole. Boiry, I don't know how to say. Is the one of the new that can see something against us. Drean, the Toulon player, it's really having a fantastic season with the Italians. There, Noah Nene, Mike. Noah Nene is also part Italian.
Yeah.
We have the crazy guys, the guy that can do everything at this moment, which is Thomas Ramo. They are what they are, a really good, strong depth team. Fantastic. So it's gonna be hard, but why not Odias in this game, right?
Man, I'd love that. I think for me, right? I think, listen, I think for me, it'd be really interesting to see sort of how the players marry up here. But also, it's one of those where I try and think what the teams would have done, like what the other teams do, the other, Six Nations teams do, and I don't think many of them will rotate against the best opposition. They're trying to beat them, so they put the best team out, and that's something that I think we need to start focusing on as well.
So let's see if all fit. They all start at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Listen, if they're not like, there's other.
Fratelli is back, which can be an option from the bench in this moment.
Yeah, I think as long as there's no niggles, as long as they're not tired, as long as they're mentally and emotionally ready for the battle that's coming. For me, I think we try and win this game.
In Lille, correct?
Yes, in Lille, yeah, of all places.
In all places, let's go in Lille. We can win this game yes, because we know what we can do in the last couple of years. Also, France can be a team that try to that works on nerves a lot sometimes, so it can be something, but they have a lot of really good players. So
I'm going to ask you directly, who's your team for this? If you can pick anyone, who would you have? Let's start from front row to finish.
I start with the same front row. Fischetti. I'm bringing Dimchev from on the bench. Okay. Then who else I want to? I'm starting with the Ruzza this game, for example. I will start and Cannone, Favretto from the bench. Odiase, yes. I will try a crazy call. A crazy call, Mike, could be Locatelli in this game.
Okay.
To be honest, Locatelli, Odiase, and Lamaro, Zuliani from the bench. Fusco Pagerello. Centers that you want to see. For what we have now about player, would be nice to have a.
Sorry. Fusco at 9, Pagerello at 10.
No. Fusco Pagerello bench.
Okay. So who are you going at 10 then? Because you skipped the 10.
Oh, 10 is gonna be probably is gonna stick with Garbisi, but I can see a chance for Dare. And then centers probably if we're gonna balance and one between Lineage and Ioane is gonna rest, Odogu goes there. So in the center you have to try a new partnership, or you have to pick Menoncello Marin. Menoncello Marin should be the partnership at the moment. I can see at least another player to come in to get rest to Menoncello, and probably also Mazza Marina will try in a game like that. Under pressure, let's go. I mean, a player that has to defend most of the time with Zebre has to do hard work. I can see doing hard work even in the breakdown against France. So that is the call. And on the wing, if one of them rests, so you have Ioane Lainag, then you have a Capozzo, you have a Pani that can cover on a wing if we want to try in that way to play. I mean, this can be
Gallagher fullback
more expensive. Oh, not in this game. I don't know why. I don't feel like a game that we need a speedster and long boots, Mike, for this game.
So Pani fullback.
Yeah, probably that. I can see in other games to play Mr. Gallagher, but not in this
Reliable.
game. Yeah, Mr. Reliable, not in this game. But man, I think this can be something we want to change, because the best team is the one that played the last two games. Fully that, and you can work on with the bench.
Yeah, listen, you're right, because and this is something that's undervalued. Like we're losing a week of rest this Six Nations, and it's a long tournament, and we don't want to see any of the boys injured. So you are right, and it's one of those balance. It's such a unique one because it's the first one. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time that we're losing a fallow week, so the team that can't recover, and so yeah, listen, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think now, this is where QUESADA'S money's made. This is going to show us, his mettle as a coach, which I'm quite excited about.
Guys, what you think? Because I'm reading Start Fusco. I read before some changes, but if you have to try to give us a your 15, your starting 15, you can try.
Yeah,
We
put
have
that in the
met-
comments for
we
sure.
have-
I'm so excited to see people's opinion on that.
yeah, also in the comments after the live, if you want.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the different ideas about that.
By the way, we check every comment, so even if it's not live, we'll message you back. Just make sure that you guys do it.
Mike, shall we go nerd for a few minutes and shall we look a couple of nerd stuff? Let's see.
Enter the stat man. I need to. That's what you need. That's what you need instead. Like you instead of enter the sand man, enter the stat man. Let get that music going, my friend.
So these are the racks in the game between Ireland and Italy. On the left side, as you can see, there are 4 quarters, red quarters and blue quarters. In this case, guys, we are the red quarters, and those are the rack. And you have to think about Italy always attacking right to left. Okay, so as you can see, we had a couple of situations where the racks were much more on the left side of the field in the first quarter, and we didn't have a lot of entries or racks, let's say racks in the opposite 22. In the first half, we had only 3. But then in the second half, we have much more. So this is positive because we grow up in the game trying to score more tries or to have more positive possession there. Sometimes we were able to, other times not. But this is something that it's positive for me to see also where we are playing, Mike. So it seems like we are playing in the opposite field. We are not playing in our field, less possible, and we try to push in the other half. Ireland, as you can see, played much more the field, trying to building, starting in their opposite 50 in their own 50s. With a few racks there, and then they managed to move around the field much more. We were more compact in the area where they had more racks in the second half than them. That's about the racks, my friend.
No, I was just keeping quiet there because like you're explaining it really well, and I think it's really interesting because the stats do paint a picture that we are trying to be more pragmatic. We are trying to kick for territory. We are trying to play rugby in the right places of the pitch. And yeah, like it's nice to see that the words that has come out of the coach's mouth in terms of what the ambition and how we're planning to play is proven in the stats. So that's a really important graphic for people who are interested.
We have also, I'm going to show you another index that we create with Sir Lucio, Big Lucio. So we can see a little bit of the work in the rack. So let me just share 1 second another thing, and we ready to go. Here we go. Okay, this is the work in the rack. Okay, from both teams, we are the red teams. Here we go. This is during the whole game, okay? From minute 0 until the end of the game, until the kick of Crowley's kick out. And this, for me, is interesting because you can see a lot of the work from both teams about working the rack, tackling, the missed and not missed penalties and turnover left in the area of the breakdown, plus other stuff, and that change depending by many factors. And in this case, you see us, how much we work hard in many occasions during the game. We compete with the level and even more. And that on the level of performance, for me, this is good to see, and it's something that we see also last game. If you see other games from the previous year that I will show you, and we can compare at the end of the Six Nations, Mike, you see that is not in the same way, the way we work. We are the red in this. So peaks of work, staying in front of on the scoreboard or not. I mean, many factors, but this bring a good wave of the dark rack work.
What's interesting here as well, when commentators talk about, the momentum shift and the game has a point where like the pendulum starts swinging in the other direction. This is the visualization of it, right? There's a point where we're working harder than Ireland, and there was points where Ireland was working harder than us. And actually, if you look at when they scored their points, I'm betting it coincides when the blue is higher than the red, right? Just goes to show.
And to show you something like that and the effect, how the switch changes during the game, I'm going to show this one that is the index about the carries that Mr. Lucio developed, and how, let's say, the contact authority. This is the right word for this. How much strong you are in the game, and this is, you can see. For example, when we had a lot of racks in the second half, in the last quarter of the game, so the carries were positive for us, and we were always the red in this case. And then we get low, and they grow up.
Yeah.
So you can see the waves in this way. I was going first on one attacking, the other one losing with the carries, giving meters back. So that's something to think about. Lucio production, so good stuff to think about. We have many more of
Good
this.
work, Lucio.
We show some of this, but let me close this mic and let's talk about the really, really important things, Mike.
Go on, mate.
Because of course we're gonna touch this. I don't care about it, but let's touch this.
Okay. Listen, I don't care. I don't care that the call. I don't care that, you know, people have done their degrees on doctorates in physics now and showing like passes left, right. We shouldn't have been in a position that affected the game. Like, we are a team that, as Otto just showed in terms of the graphics, had parity at some occasions, were in ascendancy in other occasions. And had we made the right decisions in certain occasions, that might not even have necessarily have come up. And listen, I just sort of really want to reiterate, decisions are going to go against us, but the stuff that's in our control, that's the stuff that I want to talk about, the stuff that we need to learn about, the tackles that are missed, the passes that weren't given, the little bits, because that's what makes this such an exciting Italian team, by the way. It's not what they've done, it's what they can do. So all of the additional stuff that, you know, they can make that 10% better, that's for me is what really excites me about this team. It's the fact that, you know, everyone's like, oh, he played really well. I don't think we played well, but we didn't play our best.
We didn't play our best because we found a team that
best yet. So
in that way, yes. On the other side, Ireland has really pushed up in back in the dark work in the rack that was to be done,
slow us down,
to slow us down, and that kills us, especially in those that possession before Low get the ball, and they slow down in a way that we were not able to be so effective with our carries, trying to work around, because we are trying to accumulate them and moving with waves, but that didn't work. But about the forward pass, Ollie Davidson has been consistent, because she whistled another one for Ireland that looked less than this in the second half. So, but also, as usual, I don't care. The game was good. I feel for them, because Lineag did a fantastic thing and everything. It's not a try. It's not a try. We take that and we move, because anyway.
I think it's fair to say, guys, and maybe this is more for, you know, Otto and some of you guys who've watched Italy in the Six Nations for, you know, the past 26 years odd. Like, that wasn't a bad decision that went against us. That was a marginal 50-50 either way. You know, okay, fair enough, it didn't fall on our side. We've had some bad decisions against us. So for all of you guys who are really upset, don't go back and watch old games, because you lose your mind.
No, there are, but in general, we are now in a situation where we don't have to appeal to that, because we are getting so close to doing our work that it's fantastic. So no matter what, we are building on it. And probably that is why I stay that positive. Let me see a little bit of the chat. Paceloin, I would love to bit of rest for Paolo Garbisi.
He's worked a lot. That does terrify me though if he gets injured.
Cannone Junior or Giuliani for Odiase, Pani for Ioane. stats, of course. Rugby, let's put something out. Capots of Ulbeck. Only left the game flow with few whistle. We need 1% better to
She was
win.
brilliant. I don't have any complaints about Holly.
Fair play to our captain on
Yeah.
what he said after. So 1% more. She was just making up with that call. Those calls never go our way. Ian Tempest is the guy that called. So probably
Yeah.
she, like in the way they were speaking to during that
Holly
moment,
wasn't convinced, that it was clear and obvious. I understand.
then the way she asked the question said, "So you're seeing a clever forward pass?" He said, "Yes." You cannot say no. I don't think so. After it's being
After
called.
coming in, imagine. Actually, I think you're
Oh my
fine.
god, you cannot do that. You
Well,
can't do that.
no, they're only meant to come in on clear and obvious, right? So the question that so had he said no there, then he's sort of defining the whole point as to why he's sort of going against the whole point that he came in the first place. But listen, I don't care. Like, it's one of those where we have the ability, even before that, to be ahead of the scoreboard, and those are the areas that we need to focus on. The kicks, that potentially weren't taken, little things like that. And I think Quesada, just for reference, everyone, what he said after the game, he said he said it in English, on the English part of the interview. He said, I think we should have done better with pressure, particularly scoreboard pressure. So there's points in the game where it's important to take your points on offer. Kicks win tournaments, tries don't. We've learnt that. So we need to start being better at it,
Look, this is good by Robbie. The forward pass is one of the least 3 clear try occasions which didn't go out way. We needed very little on one side. Yes, she probably didn't. She didn't need that Kakor, because I think that was too much by Tempest to call that, and then because when you see the ref, the central ref, that it's like you're saying, Mike, like she wasn't quite.
She wasn't convinced, was
She
she?
didn't buy it, but that
Robbie,
is
just on your point there, where you said 1%. What I was saying is, I don't think we've seen our players at 100%. Is what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that we needed to be 10% better to beat them. What I'm saying is, I still think these players have a lot more to show us as a nation, as a country, as a team, and that's what's exciting. That's what I was saying. Okay.
I liked part of the work made by Menoncello in the field this week, and something I didn't like it, the management. He can grow. You see, if you focus only on him during the game, you see those moments where he can do better. He can be even better than that, to be the beast that we want to. Now he can do that, but he can even more.
Yeah.
Because he have the way. Last week he didn't pass the ball. This week pass the ball. Next week, Mike, against France is gonna score on a line break. Come on, it's growing.
Mate, he's finding those spaces and he's exploiting them. And again, he's so quick. Like some of the cover tackles where we were outnumbered, I saw like a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2 on occasion, and so he just teleports across the field. He's so fast.
So
But
about
yeah,
this,
man.
Mike, this play. I mean, the idea was not that bad, but for me, Marine has to go down on the ground as quick as possible instead of trying an offload.
So he doesn't get a hold of it.
Mekowski did a really good playing in that way. All the full game, it was this kind of offload, give the ball away. But Marin, for me, like there is another situation with Ioane. You see Ioane, how much he fights to go down, to give this ball down. Probably that is the moment that cost us that move from line out at the end of the first half. That was bad. That was a 50-50 bounce, Mike. The bounce for Menoncello, and we play pretty much like quick attacks around the field when we had the ball. The long phases really tired us, but on the quick ones, as Quesada wants to, for us to be quick and attack, because we don't have that physicality in attack to work multi racks and everything. Well, that is something we're working on and works working good.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think actually, I'm a massive advocate for us to learn how to score tries, and there's no better time than the Six Nations, particularly because we have the Nations Cup, we have the Six Nations, and we have the World Cup to look forward to, right? So we've got plenty of time. For me, it's more, if we're going to go for the corner, let's make sure that it's after a converted try. So we're putting, do you see what I'm saying? We were 5 points up there. We put it to 8 points. We force them to have to try and score a try against us, gives us more opportunity to maybe counterattack, gives us more space. Maybe their discipline maybe they get frustrated. We haven't seen teams under that scenario since Wales, was it last year, where we went 20 odd points up, and Scotland last game where we went up and we know our defense is good, but we're forcing them to play. We're forcing them to overplay at times. That for me is where the game management stuff, and that's the experience that these boys are learning now. I think that's where potentially we could do slightly better,
We can, for sure, Mike. For sure, we can do better than that, because it's a team that has still a big roof in front of them. So it's
massive growth. Yeah, I agree.
It's something we have to take in count, because we need also more players to start getting around this team. Good opportunity now. You see every time, like for Marine to finally found a space in the team. We were waiting to see him playing 2 games in a row. Starting was a dream last year, because every time was on the bench. Then tiny injury there, here, and you don't have it a lot. So maybe let's say next game is likely to be the toughest of the tournament. Even if we end up with a bad loss, it's okay for me as long as we try. Minolo, yes. That's why you look the game, see how he lose the game, the ball sometimes. The management, can I give a ball? Should I attack there? Can I release for a player? Do I see around? Something also Giuliani had a good opportunity when he stole the ball, Mike. Half second, and he can give more meters to Lamaro there, for example, right? And we keep pushing them back, and that was a good position, but whatever. We can grow up in that.
There's also some things that I saw we were deploying in the first half, and I don't know if they adapted and we weren't able to, but we were trying to intercept, which was ironic because we got intercepted ourselves at the end. But I think we expected Prendo to do those long loopy passes over the top, and there was one where I can't remember, was it Fusco in the first half that went through his hands?
Fusco, yeah.
Right. So had he caught that, then there's and we were doing that a lot. And then obviously we stopped doing it with Crowley because Crowley played slightly differently. But that's another thing where I think, we could have got a lot of change had we sort of tried to exploit that slightly more as well. There's some interesting game, right, all round, I think.
You want me to show a couple of stuff about this?
Always. Go on.
Okay, I'm gonna show just the move around, how they play, how they move the players in defense. Okay. So let's see. Yes, I know this. Okay, here we are with one of our player. Okay, look how many they are in the field, how short we are in this situation, and what we are trying to do with that player. Look how he's coming up a lot, still there, waiting the inside, but they are really up, giving only that opportunity of passing. Or you attack the line, but if you attack the line, no matter what, there's gonna be Lorenzo Cannone coming to take Prendergrast. Okay, so here you have, but also because it's gonna be a big long pass, you have still time to push on him, even if here Balokun plays well, because he does well, but we can cover from the inside because he tried to push him. He slows down the player, but then we are still there, and it's not like a panic mode. Like from here you reorganize yourself, and then we go play in the same way when we go down in other situation. Like you said, the one with Fusco, I think was just before Linag, something like that, Mike. And in that situation too, he push a lot on the short side with three players coming. Fusco had a good idea to push there, and it was something new against a team that play a lot of shape on shape. You put that, let's say, defense that came to pressure to leave you only that opportunity. Then they found some,
Yeah.
they found the space, but not that much.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting because obviously there were times where we would see a lot of scrum halves read what we were going to do and run in. I remember Ben Youngs used to be really annoying about it. I remember Ali Price used to be super annoying about it. I'm thinking particularly sort of 3 years ago where he went the length of the pitch when we were 5 meters out and little
My
things
God.
like that. But it's interesting to see that like we're looking at deploying some of those as well, just having those short reads as well, which is interesting.
It's let's see how much we can do with if we're gonna have changes also with the wingers, how they're gonna keep reading those situations, because Yuan is really good trying to push. No, maybe Odogo can be one on that, but we have to be much more aware of what France can do short around with the ball carrier.
19 line breaks in the first half, Otto.
I see 19 line breaks, too many. What do you think?
I find France just an enigma, to be honest. Crazy that, isn't it?
Sometimes seems too easy. That's the thing that make nervous when you see France. The way they can easily follow up. So you need to choke and kill the player right away, and try to let them play just a forwards game, and be so aggressive then when they try to attack you with the speed with the 9 around.
I've got a question for you. Something I noticed, and I don't know if it's just specific for Wales, but they were doing double switch plays on the 5 meter lines. I don't know if you noticed that. So I mentioned it in the chat as well at the time. They did it, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7, maybe 8 times where Dupont would swap out and then they do a switch play, and then they're trying to force the winger in, and then they do another switch play and then do a tip pass to LBA.
They're trying all
LBB.
this semi-attack around off 9 and not, so they have to test you on the pressure, because one time they found a space, maybe it's not on the first phase, but it's gonna be the second one where they can just kill, because another switch after the first phase can find you 3-4 forwards coming around the corner and finding sometimes to even play wide. They can try
Yeah,
to go
well, that's what
wide
they were doing in the 5 meter. They were doing it on the blind, which was
on the
interesting.
side.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm I'm interested, like, to see sort of what what tricks they have up their sleeve. Otto.
What else can happen in another game like that against France in Lille, Mike? What else can happen? Something
Well, listen,
weird.
I think you hit the nail on the head, right? If we match them physically, we know defensively that we're pretty solid. We know that the pack is working really well. The forwards are working really well. Line out is working well. But I think there's one thing that we've got going for us, is that we have confidence for the first time in a long time, Otto. So I think that's something for us to say.
Yeah, the team is a team that has to show their best, Mike. No matter who's gonna play, but probably that is the thing we're literally looking for. We will see how we can cope with French broken play. Absolutely, that is another test. Shape on shape, another open wide space attacked by Scotland. Usually, a lot of we see a lot of kicking game, but not being tested like it happened against Scotland with Ireland. So that, let's see what they gonna try to do against us, because also that is the French kicking game can be really, really hard to cope with, actually, with that broken play, yes, but also the way they can come from every corner and find spots, then just to attacking it brutally with a maul. It's it's something. Last year, no at all. 20 minutes last year. the positive from this. Nothing.
Yeah. So just a quick one, because I know we haven't touched upon some of the players that obviously came in to the camp. So we got Bertaccini that's come in.
And Pagerello.
And Pagerello. Bertaccini obviously for Breck. So like we said, hoping that's not something serious there. So wishing him all the luck. But we've got quite a few injuries still, eh? Alan, Breck, Lucchesi, Negri, Riccioni, Todero, Trulla, Varney, Vincent. We've got some big players missing, but not looking at what we don't have, because obviously there's nothing we can control there. You're saying we've got some really, really exciting players that we haven't seen yet, so Odiase and co. But do you think we're going to see Bertaccini in this game? Do you think it's going to be a bit early for him to join, just get thrown in?
Like crazy goal 13, Mike.
What are your thoughts?
Just start working around. Don't stop for 50 minutes. Don't stop.
Yeah. We just need an engine. I agree with you.
For me, yes, look like Lollo Lorenzo. First try from Ireland looked easy, because Marin came on to push hard. The tackle by Menoncello left the hands free for McCarthy. They just give the ball to the player that was supposed to be the Marin one, but Marin covered on that pass, and then he's not able to come back and recover there. The player is already in the middle, even if it was not the first option, and he enter in and score.
Yeah. Osborne picked a beautiful line there, though.
Yeah, that was a good line. If it was ball to Osborne, straight ball to Osborne, Marin
claps him. Yeah, I agree.
But it's not. No, Zuliani, yeah. Sorry, guys, I don't remember the play, but I remember this, leaving the ball around and giving this ball on sulla corrente Osborne. Yes, la corrente Osborne. Come arriva. Yeah, like a white player. Bertaccini and everything. Zanon is not in, Mike. So I think maybe it's going to be with the 15. Are they training, Mike? Do you know?
Mate, I would love to know this. Like, I in an ideal world, Otto, I want to see the 15 and the national team training together. That'd be great, no? But we don't have the money for that.
We don't have the money, so we can only wish. But Mike, it's gonna be an interesting week to see how we go. Hopefully, no injuries, and let's see what France will do, and the rest of the team, because the eyes now are also already on England. It's getting closer to another game. You have to go close to Wales and England. What they are doing, so now I'm taking much more care of what they are doing. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to that. You and I are going to be in Italy.
In Italy in Rome for Italia Inghilterra.
I've got a load of stickers that I don't want to bring back with me, though. So if you guys see us, come find us.
A bunch of stickers, guys. Come get stickers, and it's gonna be fun. But that's it for today, Mike. Let's see what we can do this week, and if we're gonna have some new guests. Don't forget the last guest we had, Lineag, Varney, François May, the last 3, plus the interview post game in Roma. Mike, buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
Ciao a tutti, ciao, ci vediamo presto.